Hello. I gotta fix some shit. Hang on. I am a little small. Tracking might be a little funny. Things are very scuffed right now. Let me get music in here. Where the music at? Hello. Let me do this track. No. This track? No. Let's listen to this for now while I adjust shit. D. Okay. I don't think I hit my key.
I've had the stream on mute this entire time. The one time I turned it off, it was really busy, and I can hear Kaya's door open. My door open.
Resi 9 is pretty good.
Resi freaks me out, so.
Yeah. Wow.
Got a headache. I'm tired of it.
The struggle. Let me see. Can I move this?
I got a job. I have orientation tomorrow at 2, so I'm multiplayer stream. Working graveyard shift.
You're fun.
So I'm trying to adapt to it, and I mean, I naturally stay up till like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
3, 4, but it's pushing that last little bit, and I just can't bring myself to do it.
Sorry, chat. I'm trying to adjust my camera positioning. It's a little hard with the current setup. I don't think I can fix this. Yes.
Okay. Hi, chat. I don't actually have stream pulled up because I had the other stream pulled up. Hold on.
Hopefully that's okay. I don't know. For anybody who's not a part of Discord, so yesterday I decided to adjust stuff for my desk. I wanted to use the monitor mount that Aria had granted me, but the positioning of my desk wasn't quite ideal. In order to deal with that, I had to pretty much disassemble it. I got partway through it, and then my mom told me it's probably not a good idea to do the clip mount on the desk because it's a tempered glass desk. So I had that desk around me like half disassembled, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I will just fully disassemble this because we have my actual wooden desk downstairs, and we were talking about how to carve out a chunk of the frame so that I can use the clip mount. Yeah. Or other adjustments that were also being considered, but it complicated. And my desk is, I did not put my desk back together because my pain level was too high at that point. I just could not do anything else. So I opted to finish disassembling the desk. It now sits in my hallway. And so I have one monitor on a small 2x2 cube shelf, and the other monitor is on my rolling desk that I use for when I'm in bed. That is my setup right now.
You're making it work.
Kind of sucks not having the third, but you know, it is what it is, I guess. Let me actually put this in the right spot and set up the music right. So yeah, everything is very scuffed right now. But because of how my my PC is sitting, I can't quite reach my webcam to be in front of me. It's technically to my left. So the tracking is going to be probably pretty glitchy because I can't move it any further than it is. It's at like maximum length right now. So yeah.
It's gonna be worse than my Slime Rancher stream in which my thing just stopped working and I couldn't remember how to pull my PNG, so I just didn't. So I just stopped me moving, froze me, and I tried to get a good angle. It froze in such a weird angle, and then I just put that frozen angle image in the corner of the screen and called it good.
Whatever works. Yeah, I can see my model like kind of glitching a little bit because I'm like right on the edge of the tracking, so it's a little scuffed. But no, you're here to listen, not to observe, right? Well, I'm tired. I'm very sore. Not as sore as I thought I would be. After doing all that stuff, I ended up laying down on my heating pad, and I kept like falling in and out of sleep for like a couple hours. So I did like 2 rounds on the heating pad for my back, and it's not terrible. It's still not great though. Not surprised. Unfortunately, I have to wait till Wednesday for chiropractor again, so I don't get any relief from that. But it is what it is, I guess. He's wasting away.
Your food bowl, you're right, your food bowl isn't full, but you still have kibble in that bowl. And considering the other day you just tipped your whole food bowl upside down, I guess to prove a point, you don't need it filled until you go eat it.
She sure thinks she do.
She does. That's not true. She doesn't want her kibble filled. She wants something else.
Okay.
I'm not getting the Dougie yummies. I also don't have very many until I go to the store, which I will be at the store tomorrow, so I'm just gonna go shopping then with the little bit of money that I have.
What's happening here? There we go. I just wanted to click off the boundary boxes. I think everything's in order. Spent most of the morning trying to set stuff up for stream, so both physically and software.
You know, I'm playing a different game. I'm just a mindless money sorting game, pretty much. But because I've played Minecraft every time we stream, like part of me is just like, just go back to Minecraft. So, my Minecraft knowledge has come in handy though. I'm very pleased with it. Both of my kiddos. In fact, within the same week, I have now played Warden, like 2 different of Warden games with my kids.
Yeah, not been doing much in the Minecraft because I'm kind of like at a point where I'm like done with the everything I need aside from, you know, replacing stuff in the gym. Which sure, I should be on the game in order to have the farm running, but
You know, I've just gotten bored with building. And while I don't mind exploring, I now want to have the building to put stuff to a display.
mm-hmm.
So I don't want to explore until I finish building the building.
Kind of
But I'm bored of building the building. So I'm just doing neither now.
Right. Before we do truly get into it, I should do a little bit of my stretches. I should be smart.
Yeah, those are
Do
important.
that.
I've been trying to double down on stretches. That's because new job is going to be working freight and stuff, and I was like, well, my body already hurts. Let's just start stretching now.
Yeah.
I've realized one leg that has tightened more than the other. Like, there's just like when I stretch, I just have one leg that does not stretch out like the other does.
Yeah.
Ironically, it's the good leg that doesn't stretch properly.
Probably because you just don't. It's probably because you don't have do the stretches as much. You probably shift more with the bad leg, right? You shift and adjust it more than you would your other leg, right?
Yeah.
So it's probably because of that. I've noticed that my lately my right knee's been getting really bad. After doing stuff yesterday, oh boy, did my like ankles and my right knee hurt so bad.
Sounds about right.
My wrists were really bad too, because it was like hand unscrewing the disc. So
yeah, no. To be honest, I'm at that point where the idea of unscrewing anything or fastening anything with my wrist just makes me cringe in pain. My wrists do not like.
yeah. I've not been doing very good about doing my stretches for my neck and throat. So I don't know if we'll if we'll do more than one chapter. I do have the playlist ready for 2 chapters, but we'll see.
Now that we're talking, I'm suddenly like, oh, I should actually be stretching my neck.
Yeah, do that.
Stretch real quick.
Do the stuff in the thing. I just figure since this is gonna be more of a yapping stream, I should be doing this. I'm so ready for goddamn sleep. Not gonna lie. I've not been sleeping well lately.
My sleep is just all over the place. I'm trying to get used to, because I'm gonna be working graveyard, but I am keeping my day job.
Mm-hmm.
So, 3 days a week, I'll be working 12 to 7, and then 10 p.m. to 7 a.m.
That's fun.
And then I've got the other days, which is, I guess I should say, I don't actually know my week schedule yet for the other ones, so they may not overlap. But
What are sleep?
Are 4 to then, but so it's gonna be very little sleep. But then I'm trying, and right now I've been wanting sleep, but like I'm trying to train myself also to get used to little sleep.
Yeah.
/ get used to staying up. But I get cranky. Like last night, I was like, it's Saturday. I can sleep in tomorrow. We're gonna work on this. We're gonna stay up all night. Yeah, I hit like 3:30, and I'm like, I'm miserable.
Yeah.
It doesn't help that also the dog throws a hissy fit if I'm not in bed.
Yeah.
I can push it till maybe 2 a.m. before she has a full doggy meltdown.
Yeah.
And then
yeah, no, I started having some drinks with caffeine again, which definitely hasn't been helping, but I don't know, just wanted some. Speaking of drinking, hydration.
I've got some water still. I don't want to refill it just yet. I have enough to drink when you do the things.
Are you comfy, buddy?
What was
You're
it
so
again?
cute.
Commas for water, periods for stretches?
Yes. Because commas happen more often, so we hydrate more
Yeah,
often.
that's what I was thinking. I was like, I believe I remember right. Commas happen more often. Speaking
Be
of
happy
stretching,
I cleared out the chair for you. You're so cute.
oh, you getting snuggles in?
He's all curled up on him chair. It's been like filled with stuff lately because he hadn't been laying in it forever. But I think because of the angle I'm sitting at right now, I'm sitting facing the door, so he is technically in my line of sight. So I think he likes it a little more there. Yeah, you like that? You're so cute.
Speaking of cats, yeah, along with Ella throwing a hissy fit, Cole gets mad when I'm up late.
Snuggle hours.
That exactly. Even if I'm in bed, because Ella makes me go in bed, he stands and stares at me till I lay down because he wants to lay on my chest.
Such a goober.
So he'll just stand and like meow at me, kind of almost angrily staring. It's like, lay down.
Critters are so
I can't access
particular.
your chest right now.
Do be like that.
Yep. Like, it's not, the animals are not helping my let's stay up late thing. But then, especially like Ella having her doggy meltdown, the others are asleep at that point. I'm like, I need you to stop making noise.
Mm-hmm. Model's gonna freak out because I'm doing my head turns.
Weird turns. Oh, ow. Yeah, I haven't stretched that in a while. I'm doing the same thing. Ow.
Yeah. I gotta do head turns and head tilts.
Yep. Oh, that's pulling muscles. That's a problem. Considering I have neck issues, neck issues.
Yeah, so you should probably be doing these more often.
Yeah. Like I said, I've just recently realized I haven't been doing any of my things, and I'm about to go into a job where I need to be like, able to do said things. And
Be
I'm just like,
functional.
well,
Time to do physical therapy.
I thought about it. I'm like,
boy.
well, I might need to look into physical therapy just to counteract my job.
Yeah.
But it's all good. I'm also breaking out all of the braces again. We're gonna start wearing our tape on our wrist, our knee brace.
I deadass almost ended up doing that yesterday, but I was just like, I'm just gonna lay in bed. Alright. Then it's my turns, now we do the tilts. Model will freak out a little less with this one. Oh, this one feels pretty good. Hopefully it's not too bad. I didn't do too heavy on the massage stretch. Because sometimes it aggravates the inflammation a little more. I've noticed it does help in the long run, but sometimes there's a little bit of time where I end up being a little raspy or tender.
Yeah, any vertigo exercises makes the vertigo worse before it improves it.
Yeah.
Which sucks when you're feeling dizzy and sick already, and the thing that you need to do to make it better is make yourself even more dizzy and sick.
Do my stretches. I don't want to do the vocalizations.
I mean, we'll be doing more stretches when you run into areas where you need to put a period and stuff, so.
Okay, what am I doing?
Any of you chat that doesn't do stretches, do stretches.
Yeah.
Cautionary tale to learn.
Move, you 5 heads.
It's bad when you don't.
Yeah. My speech therapist, she mentioned how a lot of the times we don't move like the way animals do a lot of the times, so we ended up like being more stiff. We end up with more injuries and such because we're just not as limber or anything, because
Yeah.
you know, critters are always moving, they're always stretching, you know, the big stretch, you know.
True. We need to be doing the
We
same.
don't do the big stretch that often. We should.
Yeah. And then there's just things like technology and stuff that doesn't help.
Yeah.
You know, as having now been to a hand therapist and like specialist for my wrist problems and like my thumb problems aren't stretched a lot, it's actually becoming more and more of a problem with most people because of holding a cell phone and using your thumb on your cell phone.
Yeah.
That the thumbs are no longer being as stretched as wide as they should be. They're becoming closer and closer.
Yeah. My mom, back when she first got like a touch screen, she had issues with her hand because of how much she was using it. And she ended up injuring her hand because of it.
Yeah, it's one of the things that I have to be very careful with. At this point, I don't usually use my thumb on my phone, which is really annoying because then you just end up having to use two hands. But it's just better because if using your using my thumb aggravates my injuries pretty bad.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, it's a good. My body just has a built-in reminder at this point. Like, what are you doing? Stop.
It do be like that.
Do the bad thing.
Okay. Alright, we're about to wrap up our half-hour yapping session. As per usual.
I mean, at this point, it's expected.
Exactly.
We can't just disappoint the people like that. They come here for the yapping, not the story, right?
Totally. I really do need to get more done on this damn thing, because, like...
Yeah.
So we're only on chapter 7. And there's 22 chapters in this book.
Yeah, it's probably good on that.
So I really need to, like, crack down on doing these. Like, lately I kind of, like, been skipping it because of, like, voice or health stuff, but, really gotta do this. Running out of time for my personal deadline. So. Yeah, do the do and the stuff and the things. Hopefully I can read this. I opted for the smaller monitor on my rolling desk, and I kind of wish I did the bigger monitor, but it's too much effort to try and change that right now.
Once you've been committed, that's all that there is to it.
Yep. The angles kind of suck, so we'll see how this goes.
We'll just have to do more neck stretches.
Yeah, I suppose so. Okay. I'm like I'm not gonna do the recordings because I haven't been doing anything with them anyway. If I want to do a proper recording for these, I'll do it later. But I haven't even done anything with the first 6 chapters, so I don't really see the reason to keep doing it right now.
That's fair.
So, also don't know if I installed Audacity yet onto the new PC, so
That might make things a bit harder to use.
yeah.
You know, kind of hard to use Audacity if you don't have it.
Yeah.
The audacity of you not having it.
I haven't had to do voice recordings much. Because I've been having the voice issues, you know?
I know. so I took it.
Oh, we're so lively today. Woo, yippee, haha.
I like how we're still distracted, but we sound so much like quieter.
Yippee hours, dude. Hopefully all the volumes are okay. I think they are. They look fine. Hopefully this is keyed into the correct thing. Let me double check. Let me actually, just to be safe, go over here real quick. I'm just gonna close this whole thing. Then we click into music really fast. Should be good.
I've probably been playing my game for a couple hours. I've not actually done any objective things in this game so far.
You like that?
It's like my space is super messy, and so I'm trying to organize it.
Start moving the starling. Here we go.
Is that what that is?
Yes. So this is chat. This little guy, this little thing. I decided to make a little chat mascot.
Nice.
Essentially, the aesthetic of him I came about. Just based off of sprites, but made of stardust. You know, that kind of thing.
Cute.
I thought it would be adorable. But yeah, he's just a little guy. Just a little guy. I just keep him on my shoulder. I have a light blue one and like a light yellow one. Kind of like to be the two different like types of stars or whatever.
That's so cool.
It's the blue one right now. But yeah. But yeah, I was trying. Every once in a while when I try to adjust, I accidentally move it instead of me. Should be better. Size-wise, hopefully. Oh hey! Let's read. It's time. Okay. I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a cliffhanger last time.
As soon as you start reading, I'm gonna remember.
I'm a bad boy. Let's scroll a little bit.
I remember being upset about the cliffhanger.
It'd be like that. Yeah, our boys were being attacked.
That's right.
Okay. Oh my, what the fuck, my model? That was weird. I went to go scratch my eye and my model freaked the fuck out.
What are you doing?
Adjust my text box apparently. Even though it was fine earlier, it is misaligned at the
YouTube
moment.
Studio's just screaming at you. What are you doing? Don't do that.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Like I said, I'm on the edge of the tracking. Like I'm like practically right where you turn fully away. Where? Doko. Text box. There we go. Rating is down a little bit. Why are there all these images here? Oh, it's from when we were doing the Yap stream. Can I just delete all these? What? Are you sure you want to remove these 4.5 items, huh? Yes. Get out of here. Why 0.5? Is it because of the folder? I don't know.
You only have a half in there?
I'm thinking the folder counted as the 0.5.
Oh.
I have
I guess I
images
could see
here that I just don't need in here anymore. So, sorry for the dongs. I forgot about the confetti. Confetti! Sorry, chat. Not the time for this, I know. Trying to fix the fucking text box.
The delay is real. It's fine.
Just make sure you hit the live button.
Oh, I'm live. But you said confetti and it took like 30 seconds later I saw it on my screen.
Oh, God, why is it doing this? Please, let me do the thing.
No, you can't do the thing. How dare you ask? How dare you have expectations like that?
Oh, it's locked. That's why. It's like, why can't I adjust you? So it's kind of locked. There we go. It was like cutting into the gold, and I didn't like that. Didn't look right. Hopefully it's okay. No. We'll see. You know what? It's fine. I was like looking between the two and I'm like, the lineup isn't quite the way it's supposed to be, but it looks okay, so I'm not gonna bother with it. And I'm supposed to be looking at OBS anyway when reading, because that way I know when to scroll. Which is why I'm angled the way I am right now. Even if it kind of sucks, but when I actually have to go edit. That's a problem for later me. You'll hear me complain about that as we go. Okay. Hydrate, and we can actually begin finally. 36 minutes in this room.
I finally, in my game, have sorted through all my money. It's all been washed, dried, sorted from any marked bills, and all the counterfeit bills are gone. Now I just gotta make sure I sort them into their different currencies and stacks. It's almost there.
You did it.
I'm playing cash cleaner.
Yeah.
Basically, I work for a gang. I'm the one who they send me the bills, and I watch them and sort them on the money launcher.
Mm-hmm.
It's just satisfying. I've beaten the story, and I started replaying the story and decided I didn't want to, so now I'm just basically in a sandbox mode.
Yeah. Oh shit, what did I do? Don't do that. Let's click onto there. There we go.
I don't have any quests, I just have a ton of excess money. And so I'm trying to shift and sort it all, so that way when I start accepting quests, I can just whip out what I have. But I still can't, because I have much built up.
Mm-hmm. Let me pull this sheet closer. That's a little better. Oh, for realsies this time. Yushi quickly reached out and snatched the wrist of the man attacking Shuya, squeezing it tightly, forcing the dagger to fall as he caught it in his free hand. Yushi held it to the man's throat, and the others paused their advance. Right. forgot that the chapter art is literally right there. Anyway, here's the chapter art for this. It's the only chapter art you get tonight. Teehee.
What's hiding behind him?
Yeah, baby. You go guy. He's scared. But anyway, I'm just gonna ditch that now. That's all you get for now. Yeah, I haven't done the next chapter, so if we do end up doing the next chapter tonight, no art for that. But getting there. I'm almost done with chapter arts. Shuya, keep your eyes closed until I say. Yushi's voice was fierce. He was ready to kill each one of these thugs for even thinking of harming Shuya. What? Why? Shuya's eyes snapped open and his voice was trembling. His heartbeat was pounding in his ears as he saw Yushi holding the attacker at bay. I don't want you to see what I'm about to do to these bastards. Yushi's rage was growing upon hearing Shuya's fearful response, his grip tightening on the attacker, forcing them to their knees with a cry of pain. I won't let any of them near you. Trust me, Shuya. Okay. Shuya squeezed his eyes shut. While he wanted to try and get away, he'd never seen Yushi so livid, and the fact that it was over his safety brought a warmth in his chest amidst the cold fear that gripped him. Ooh, I need to move the logo 1 second. I push it down there for the sake of the chapter art, but you know, I took that.
I like the fact I'm no longer actively watching the other stream, but I can still hear the yelps coming occasionally from Paya's room. Like, I don't know what happened, but something just scared Paya.
Yeah, game's scary.
It is scary.
The Leon sections in the beginning of the game are not very long, so they're probably already back to grace. Paya's screaming already.
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully that's where it's supposed to be. But yeah. Okay. I didn't realize the logo was cutting that much into the box where I had it, but that's okay. We fixed it, so we Gucci now. Hydrating, just because my voice needs it. Shuya heard a snarl that sounded almost animalistic. Yeah, cut that. I changed this earlier, so... Followed by a series of impacts of flesh and metal, as well as cries and whimpers of pain, none of which sounded like Yushi, much to Shuya's relief. When it sounded closer, he couldn't help but flinch. However, he kept his eyes closed. There was something about the way Yushi spoke before, but he wholeheartedly trusted Yushi's words, so he stayed put and waited. After some time, and silence fell in the area, Shuya heard Yushi's voice slowly approaching. Shuya, don't open just yet. I wanted to take you away from here first. Is it alright if I touch you? Yes. Shuya was surprised at how tender he sounded in comparison to moments ago. There wasn't a trace of the resentment and ferocity left. Instead, Yushi's deep voice was filled with worry, concern, and thoughtfulness. Shuya felt his fear start to melt away. A gentle hand slid across Shuya's shoulders, turning him around. Yushi pulled him close against him, and they walked a short ways. Yushi could feel the trembling of Shuya slowly subside in his presence, easing his own pounding heart. Yushi guided Shuya towards where he knew one of the guards patrolled in the area. He led Shuya to a bench along the side of the road. You can open your eyes now, Yushi voiced softly as he rested a comforting hand on Shuya's head. We should sit here and catch our breath. Shuya complied and sat down in a bit of a daze. He was worried about what sort of carnage Yushi reaped, concerned he'd be in trouble over it. He was surprised Yushi was able to take on so many men, all the while flawlessly protecting him as promised. Yushi didn't seem out of breath at all as he sat there looking around vigilantly. It was then Shuya noticed the crimson liquid dripping down Yushi's chin and neck. Shujing, are you hurt? Shuya reached up and touched Yushi's chin, turning him to face Shuya so he could get a better look. Yushi was a bit surprised by the action, but he gently wrapped his hand around Shuya's wrist, smiling softly. I assure you, none of this blood is mine. I'm sorry if it gave you a fright. I guess I didn't realize I missed a spot. Yushi pulled out the bloody handkerchief he used before to wipe the blood from his hands following the altercation. Before he could reach up, Shuya snatched it from him. But he's a comma. Got our first comma of the night, chat.
Drink your water.
Let me, Shuya voiced firmly. I'm in your capable hands. Yushi couldn't help but smile fondly at the young man as Shuya carefully reached up and tenderly wiped the blood from his skin. Once it was cleared, Shuya breathed a sigh of relief, seeing that he was indeed not injured. Yushi wrapped his fingers around the hand that held the handkerchief. I did not realize you could fight. Shuya ran his free hand across the back of Yushi's, softly moving over the bruised knuckles. You think this physique is for fun? Yushi chuckled. I don't like to assume based on appearance. Shuya flushed as about to retract his hand until Yushi's fingers curled more firmly around the small, pale hand. Does it scare you? Yushi asked, an almost forlorn look in his eyes. You protected me. Why would I be scared? Shuya flashed a tender smile. I was more afraid you'd get hurt. Untrained fools like that couldn't lay a finger on me. Yushi smirked confidently. Even trained fighters had a hard time landing a single blow on him. A group of street thugs had no chance at all. While it was tempting to kill them all and be done with it, he left some alive for questioning, wanting to find out who sent them. I need a comma too. Even if I didn't pause very long for that, that was not necessary. Okay. However, even if Yushi left them, even if Yushi left them conscious, they weren't going to be getting up from where he left them. Perhaps instead of my assistant, you should be my bodyguard, Shuya joked with a soft giggle. I ensure you will always be safe in my company. Yushi voiced with complete sincerity that that's phrasal funky. I might have to adjust this. Yushi voiced with complete sincerity that Shuya was taken aback. Thanks. No. That should be better. Yushi's voice was filled with such complete sincerity that Shuya was taken aback. Much better. It was a little funny there. That's why we read through this shit aloud. Which I've not been doing in recent edits of new releasing chapters, so I apologize if there's funny shit in there. It is what it is, though. Most of the time when I've been having to release said chapters, when my voice has been at its worst, so I've just been like, not been able to do it. It's just been plain edited with my eyeballs. Shuya had never had someone so willing to protect him aside from his mother and sister. His chest felt tight as a warmth spread through his body. Shuya felt so overwhelmed by the whirlwind of emotions this evening. He leaned his head against Yushi's shoulder. Thank you, Shuya whispered softly as the exhaustion was creeping in. Shuya, just to be safe, why don't you come stay with me tonight? Yushi was concerned for his safety since there was someone after him. Yushi preferred to take him back to the palace, but his personal residence would have to do. I worry about leaving you alone with someone after you. Shuya hummed drearily in confirmation. Yeah, okay. I need a track change as soon as I was checking when. Yushi finally spotted one of the guards. Wait here a moment. I'll inform the Imperial Guards, and then I'll take you home with me so you can rest. Okay. Shuya stopped leaning on Yushi. Yushi got up and walked over to the guard, ensuring he was far enough away from Shuya to speak freely without him overhearing, but still near enough to keep an eye on him if someone was foolish enough to try anything. He pulled out a small token with an imperial seal inscribed upon it and showed it to the guard, who immediately stiffened upon recognizing it. Sir. The guard was about to bow, but Yushi held up his hand to stop him. No need for formality right now. Yushi's face held such a tense expression. Moments ago, myself and my companion were attacked by a group of unsavory characters just down the way there. Yushi pointed in the direction they came from. I dispatched them personally. Please, if you would, have the ones that survived imprisoned and inform Lord Chuji that Shujing will send more information regarding the circumstances and the best way to proceed. Understood. It will be taken care of right away. The guard nodded and urgently went off to find the scene. I need some water. I feel the yapping drying me out. And I don't know if you guys can hear it, but my voice is kind of rough tonight too, so which isn't surprising. Honestly, I thought it would be worse after having done all the stuff I did yesterday. I'm gonna have some skibbles. How? Skibble. It'll help me.
Highest scream. That was a good one.
I can't wait to go back and watch the rest of that.
Yeah, it's been quiet for a little bit. That one was loud.
There's a lot of good shit in that game.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie, I was watching clear through the starting screen, so. I'd already watched the streamer play it though, so I know the story. I wanted to hear the simping and suffering, you know?
That's fair. I know nothing of the story, but I don't really know the story of Resi in general.
Mm-hmm. Well,
look him up
I hear that there's like a 3-hour lore video somewhere. I know one of my Oshis ended up watching that with his memberships.
Huh. I mean, if all else fails, I'm sure there's something with game theory.
Yeah. Some lore has changed over the years with the remakes, but yeah. One of the streamers I watch, he's very into, he did a full like playthrough of all the Resi games for like the past year.
Huh.
And he does them all in like one sitting. So, even like the side games and such.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I know a lot about the Resi stuffs. And he played the game, last Friday? Yeah. So.
I just find it scary.
It's spooky. This game, I think they did really good with the spooks too.
Spooky, and then honestly, it's mostly, I don't like the look of the zombies and the goopy body weirdness.
Yeah. It's pretty gruesome.
Yeah. But it's funny watching other people struggle with it, I'll give you that.
I don't know. I wouldn't play them myself, but I love watching people play it. Same with like shit like Poppy Playtime and FNAF.
Yeah.
I'll watch anybody play those games, but I'm never gonna play them.
Yep.
I tried to play Poppy Playtime, but my neuropathy doesn't like horror games, turns out, so that's why I haven't gone back to that, in case anybody is wondering.
I just don't like horror games in general. I am a scaredy cat. Though I have a weird obsession with psychological horror stuff. Those are my favorite to watch through.
Yeah. Good shit.
But I think it's because it's spooky, but it doesn't have the gore aspect that was what freaks me out mostly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're not a gore person.
No, I am not.
Anyway, tangent.
Yep. That'll probably happen again. As
I kind of need a chance to nibble my skills a little bit, try and get some saliva produced.
So.
So.
I will absolutely be distracted again at some point.
What? Us distracted? We would never.
Never. The sounds of random screaming in my house. It's not distracting in the slightest.
No.
I mean, I guess it's not random in the sense that I do know where it's coming from.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. I said where to try.
I'm pretty sure if my door had been open, at least that last scream was loud enough that my mic might have picked it up.
I don't think I heard it, so.
No, I think 'cause it helps my door shut.
Yeah. Okay. On to the fluff section of the chapter. Yushi approached Shuya, who was laying across the bench, hand over his eyes. Yushi kneeled next to him, concerned about him. Shuya, Yushi whispered softly. Shuya removed his hand and blinked drearily up at Yushi. Are you alright? Tired, Shuya mumbled with barely any energy. If you don't think you can walk, I'm more than happy to carry you, Yushi said in a teasing tone, but he also meant it. I don't want to trouble you, Shuya yawned as he sat up. Yushi offered a hand and helped Shuya to his feet. Shuya was a little unstable, his legs were still trembling, and he stumbled into Yushi's arms. I'm sorry, Shujing. Shuya flushed as he looked up at Yushi. It's alright. Yushi smiled softly. He wrapped his arm around Shuya's shoulder, pulling him in close to support him. Just lean on me, Shuya. Come along. Okay, Shuya stuttered as he happily complied.
He got a hug.
Yuji guided Shuya to his private residence. It wasn't anything overly ostentatious, like most of the estates in the area. It was a bit smaller than them as well. Just beyond the gate was a simple yet lush garden that surrounded the building. Yuji guided Shuya straight to one of the guest rooms, seeing the young man was barely able to keep his eyes open. Take it easy and rest in here, Yushi voiced softly, guiding Shuya to sit on the bed. It may be a bit big on you, but I'll bring you one of my robes so you can borrow for now. If you need anything while you're here, don't hesitate to ask. You're too kind, Shuya smiled softly. Think nothing of it. Yuji smiled fondly before stepping out of the room to retrieve a robe from his room. While he didn't typically stay there often, he did ensure the place typically had everything he needed in the event he did need to. It doubled in making the place look lived in for any nosy guests. When Yuji returned, he noticed Shuya had already fallen asleep, likely having just laid down for a moment, but the exhaustion caught up to him. Yuji sat next to him on the bed, gently brushing the bangs out of his face. Yuji felt at ease, knowing Shuya was able to fall asleep so easily in his presence after the night's affairs. Where is it? I see. Okay. Yushi reached up and removed his hairpin and should just change it to Shuya's. There we go. Yushi reached up and removed Shuya's hairpin and set it on the table next to the bed. Yushi proceeded to remove any accessories that might cause him discomfort before shifting the young man into a better resting position and pulling the covers over him. He left the robe next to the accessories on the bedside table and left the room. Yushi still felt rather restless. He wanted to personally interrogate the attackers, but he also didn't want to leave Shuya alone. He simply paced the main room, hoping Ryuuna would come as soon as he heard the news. Eventually, he simply sat in one of the plush chairs in the seating area, tapping on the armrest as he began debating about how to proceed. If it turned out to be Shuya's father behind the attack, like he half suspected, he was more than ready to personally eliminate the man ahead of schedule, regardless of who it was. He fully intended that they wouldn't survive the experience when he was done with them. If they did survive, they would be ruined for life in more ways than one. After some time, a soft yet urgent knock came to the front door. Yushi quickly got up and pulled the door open. Thankfully, as expected, it was Ryuuna. "Are you all right, sir?" Ryuuna seemed out of breath, having run over as soon as he heard. "I'm fine." Yushi waved him in and returned to his seat. "Try and keep it down, though. Shuya is sleeping in the other room." "You brought him here?" Ryuuna blinked in surprise. It was quite rare for Yushi to invite anyone over if he didn't need to. Even then, he avoided it. "Of course I did." Yushi's brows knit. "They wanted to kidnap him. I don't know who sent them just yet, otherwise they'd all be dead." "It's rare for you to take something like this so personally." As Ryuuna sat down, he could hear the tension and bitterness in Yushi's voice. "Are you certain you're all right?" Yushi blinked a moment, realizing he was still rather worked up over the matter. Sorry. Part of the text box is blocking it, so I had to look between the document. It was certainly a rarity. The last time he felt this bitter rage was over the course of their rebellion against the former emperor. After it was resolved, even assassination attempts against himself or members of the upper court never got him this heated. He always kept a level head when it came to taking vengeance against those who wronged them. You're right. Yushi took a deep breath. I can't really explain it. I just desire to protect him. I see. Ryuuna nodded. Just so long as you aren't reckless. Take a moment to think rationally about how to proceed. As always, I will do my best to assist you in this matter. Since I was taking the time to assist him this week, we ought to do our best to resolve this within that time, so we don't disturb things more than we already have with this arrangement. Yushi sighed, returning to tapping against the chair as he thought aloud. As much as I'd like to handle extracting information from those bastards myself, I hesitate to leave Shuya on his own even here. I'll enlist the aid of Lady Shanfeng. One second. For some reason, that looks wrong. Where's the other? Where's my notes? I don't use her last name as often anymore, so. Oh, that's right. Okay. My brain just was convinced it was wrong for some reason.
You know that feeling?
I'll enlist the aid of Lady Shanfeng, Ryluo thought aloud. She'll get the information out of them one way or another. Likely the quickest. Next best thing, honestly. Tell her not to hold back. Yushi smirked. Shanfeng Yuliang was the Minister of Justice, appointed as such for her ability to discern the truth by simple observation, often able to uncover the guilty by looking at the files on cases. Amidst the rebellion, she was an expert at interrogation and even utilized torture if it was necessary. Considering they attacked me as well, technically there is grounds for execution. Indeed, I'll pass that along. Ryluo nodded, not surprised by their sentence in the slightest. When we discover more information, I will report back immediately. Do you think there is cause to suspect Lord Megui? We shouldn't rule it out. Yushi sighed frustratedly. Until we learn otherwise, he's the main suspect. If this is his way of trying to interrupt our investment, then I'll be sure he'll regret it. Somehow, I feel it'll be difficult to convince Shuya to avoid returning to the company until the matter is settled. Actually, it may be best if he continues to do so, Ryluo suggested. It would arouse too much suspicion, especially given the preparation you are assisting with. I find it unlikely whoever's after him would target him in a place so public. I suppose you are right. I still don't like it. Yushi was practically pouting. You can always discuss it with him, Ryluo shrugged. See what his opinion is on the matter. Regardless of his choice, he should stay here at night and shouldn't go anywhere without protection. Naturally, Yushi nodded. He was still rather reluctant, simply preferring to hide him away until all this blew over. Even so, it was Shuya's choice in the end. He let out a frustrated sigh. I'll see how he feels on the matter. Try and get some rest tonight, sir, Ryluo urged. He noticed the subtle signs of weariness on Yushi's face. You'll need it if you want to keep him safe. I will. Yushi rested his head in his hand. This may be important to me, but you shouldn't work too late either. I doubt Yuliang will be up this late anyways. I'm sure a night in the water prison will weaken some of those bastards' resolve. Understood. Ryluo stood up and offered a half-hearted bow. Please, take care. Thank you, Ryluo. Yushi flashed a weary smile as Ryluo departed. After a bit of time passed, Yushi got up and locked the door behind Ryluo. As he I scrolled too fast there. As he drifted off towards his room, he paused by Shuya's door. He peeked through the door just to make sure they didn't wake Shuya. Fortunately, the young man was resting. However, he didn't look as peaceful as Yushi left him. Yushi's brows knit in worry. While it would be more of a surprise that Shuya would rest easy, Yushi still hoped he would. This time, he left the door open. planning to leave his own open as well. Yushi was a light sleeper. He figured he'd be able to hear if Shuya was distressed in any way. Yushi sighed heavily, reluctantly retiring for the night. Didn't have to do too much to that chapter. I did good, apparently, when editing that the first time. Hydration. Delicious. That only took an hour. Shit. Should I have prepped another chapter? Because I didn't.
You know, it's fine.
I didn't expect to go through that so fast.
I think it's because we're both tired enough that once you started reading, the distraction went away. Because I was just like, oh yeah, I can just chill.
Yeah. Also, I really didn't need to do too much to that chapter. There's like 3 things total that I had to adjust. They were just small little edits. So, I think while making this story, I think once I started this arc, it's kind of like I hit a stride with it that like I knew where things were going and whatnot, and how to express it in writing.
That makes sense.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom real fast. Do you want to yap at chat or should I put on BRB?
Put it on BRB because I think I'm gonna get more water.
Okay, quick break, chat. Get your snackies and go to the bathroom if you need. We'll be back shortly. Alright, Dave. We back.
I'm back.
It's funny, I fully heard by because you had the door open when you stepped out.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been sitting with my door open all day listening.
Great.
Isn't it though?
Very funny. A little more skibble before we start again.
It's all good.
Skibble.
I'm debating getting food. I got paid yesterday. And I've been craving Domino's.
Nice. I was just thinking, I don't know what I'm gonna have later.
Burger King upped their prices.
Inflation, man.
Honestly, so last time I got the Burger King with it on the cheaper side, the burger came in a box instead of paper, and I literally looked at the box and went, if this means this thing is going up in price because boxes are more expensive than plastic, I'm gonna be upset. Next time I went on, my $14 meal is $17.
Oh. Well, that stuff's getting more expensive right now anyway.
Chick-fil-A is now cheaper than Burger King. Put that in perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I got up. I offered you potty. I'm not giving you potty. How do you have fur in your face? I just trimmed your face fur. I need to just all-around shave her at this point.
Yeah. Coffee creature.
I haven't done laundry in a bit, and her towel is dirty, and so I don't have a towel to like wash her for a bath.
Mm-hmm.
So she's just a scruffy, slightly dirty creature.
Squeezer. Okay. Oh. Let me do the stretches again. Just a little bit.
You're being so good.
See how well
My
things
password
go
works on
to.
the app, not the internet? Excuse me? Anyway. We starting again? What you asking?
I'm doing my stretches, so.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm just looking at Domino's. And I looked at Domino's last week, but my phone wasn't on the recent version update, so I couldn't update the Domino's app to use it. So I went on the website, could not log in at all. Did the app, did the exact same login information I did on my computer. It works on the app.
There we go. Yeah, you could stand out better if you're yellow on the scene. Should keep that in mind. I was like looking at the Starling and I was like, it's looking a little blending in. So the background's got a lot of like cooler tones. So I was like, oh, maybe I should switch them to the warm color. Yeah, it's my little guy. Head turns. Do that. So model be breaking. Model breaking hours.
Sometimes I look at the other food for Domino's, but it's like I go on Domino's for the pizza, and why the other stuff looks good. I want the pizza. I've had their chicken stuff. The chicken's not bad. It makes me cry because it's hot, but it's not bad.
Yeah, I go back and forth. Depends on my mood. It tilts.
Meh, meh, meh.
Oh, that's a little tender there. I knew
You
it
know,
would
I'm
be, because that's the
whining,
way.
and at this point, I whine on streams because I'm just mimicking you. Looking at me with her tongue sticking through her teeth.
Blip. One more. Okay. I'm gonna do a full stretch on this side too, because it's a little tender because of how I had to fucking look at this other screen. Put Discord away.
Yeah. Are you a dog? Are you a pathetic puppy? Love you, but you're pathetic.
Yeah, technically, I did one vocalization. I'm supposed to make noise while I yawn. It's one of my vocal exercises. I don't remember if I mentioned it on stream or not, but when I was doing the speech therapy for the first time and she was giving me that exercise to do, I was struggling with it really hard because the tension in my neck was really high that day. And essentially I couldn't get my my Adam's apple was like really high up because of the tension, and it wouldn't drop down very much. And that's kind of what the exercise is about, is getting my Adam's apple to drop and vocalize with it lower, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's technically more of a relaxed state by doing that. And the easiest way to do that is to basically make noise as you're yawning.
Good to know. I like to exaggerate my yawns and make noises as I do them, so...
Yeah.
I'm on point.
Not very often that I don't make at least a tiny noise anyway. Unless, you know, if I'm actually trying to be quiet in the house.
That's true. There's a difference when you're trying to be quiet. We're talking about it, and now I'm fighting back a yawn. Maybe.
There you go. Now it's gonna come back. Anyway, chat, you're all yawning now.
Yep.
Suffer.
Join us in the yawning. Honestly, I need to be yawning a little bit. It kind of helps stretch my lungs out a bit. They've been really tight.
Yawning is good for you. Helps you get more oxygen in your body.
Yup, which is kind of important.
I know sometimes during these streams I end up yawning anyway because of, oh, there goes my model. Since I am yapping so much, I'm burning through my oxygen.
Fair. I was unfortunately near somebody who was smoking yesterday, so it messed my lungs up. My kid wasn't mad though. He got early switch time, so because I just need to do a sit-down activity that I could breathe with. And I was just like, can we do this? I can't keep moving.
Yeah. You should struggle. We with the weak lungs.
Yup. And then cigarette smoke just affects me so much worse than normal smoke. It's a thing.
It's got more chemicals in it. And you're sensitive to chemicals in general.
Yeah, it's real great.
Sorry, chat. If there is rattling of mic, I am adjusting it a little bit. Hopefully. It should be better.
Mouse work. Oh, you've been working so good. Don't stop now.
Oh yeah, your busted ass mouse.
I haven't been able to afford a new one. Well, I put an order for a new one, and then it like said, never mind, you can't afford this right now.
I don't have an ergonomic one, but I have a regular mouse that came with my computer if you want.
It's okay. Maybe. It's just this one button. I've been able to press buttons all day. It's just right now my mouse has said no.
Yeah, well, my model freaks out. It really fucking freaks out, doesn't it?
I got it. We're good. But, I would say, I can't use a normal mouse anymore. That's just not a thing for me.
Yeah, I figured I'd offer, but I didn't think you'd go for it anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it's been doing okay. It just some spazzes. It's not great. At this point, though, I'm just gonna wait. I mean, as I'm buying pizza instead of buying a mouse, you know. But, I'm just gonna wait until I can, afford more things. Paycheck from second job comes in.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna pick up on some of my, my to buy things that I just haven't been buying.
Yeah.
No! What? Just this one machine.
Yeah, feeling the voice getting really tender. Trying to debate whether or not I should even do another chapter. I should, but also I don't know if I should. It's the struggle. It's like I gotta get through this if I want to get this done before my birthday, but also the voice issues makes it difficult.
Yeah.
Let me double check how long this chapter actually is, but I'm gonna hide the text box so you guys don't get spoilers if you haven't read it yet. I can
How dare they not read it yet?
fucking find it.
How dare?
You're one to talk.
Cough, cough.
Oh shit, I don't have my fucking pages set up. I adjusted this document to be... Or I adjusted the main document to have the books broken up in the document tabs. But I haven't set up the header so it has the page numbers. To fucking fix that. Interesting. That's new. Page numbers, please. Header. Thread 3. Should I adjust the formatting?
You're eating your kibble. I'm so proud of you right now.
What do with the format? Do it that side. Thank you. There we go. Okay. I fixed it. Okay. It is a short chapter. So maybe we can get away with that. It's actually really fucking short. I'll debate that later. That's a later me problem. You know what? I'll leave it. I was like sitting here thinking like, do I merge this with the next chapter? Because they are technically a continuation. But, you know, I know the next chapter is a really long one. The one that's after this one.
Well, there's nothing wrong with just having...
No, so chapter 8, which is what we're about to read, is really short. So I was debating whether or not to tack chapter 8 on to chapter 9 physically. Like for editing wise, but that would require me to change all of the chapter numbers, and I don't want to do that.
It's okay to have a short chapter. It's fine.
Yeah, there are some that are kind of on the shorter side, but it was thought. But I know chapter 9 is one of the longer ones in the series, for sure, so. Where's my text box? Yeah, no, I think I'll be okay to read chapter 8, because it starts on 65 and ends on 71, so it's not that long. Be able to get through it pretty quickly. If I can find the text box again.
You hunger? You actually ate your food.
Wasting away. Oops, sorry, chat. You can see the outline. No more. You see it no more. I have to adjust this. Let me scroll up. Make sure I have the words in the correct spot. There should be good.
I like how sometimes like Ella eats her food, finishes off, asks for more, and since that was her meal from yesterday, I filled it, and then is looking at me for a treat instead.
Classic.
Like, no, you don't get a goodie. You ate your dinner. That's what that was.
Cannot get
don't huff
this
at me
to
like
sit
that.
right anywhere. That's fine. But we will read one more chapter tonight. But no more. Which was my plan anyway. Alrighty. let's go ahead. Let's do that. I gotta adjust music. 'Cause music. There we go. Ah. One more chapter. Chapter 8. Oh wait.
I see you. I know you exist.
Gotcha. How did that turn on? That should not have turned on. There we go. Have a text box there from when we were doing questions. I saw that that was on there. And was real confused for a second. There we go. Okay. Shuya was immersed in darkness. Not a shred of light came from any direction. It was cold, a familiar cold. So he was still in the frigid landscape of the wall. There were murmurs around him that he couldn't make sense of the words. Amidst the voices, he could discern his father's and Shinhwa's. Even though he couldn't hear what they were saying, it reminded him of his darkest time, following his mother's passing. He was unable to stop the tears trailing down his cheeks. Another dark laugh caught his attention from behind. It was unfamiliar, but it raised a sense of terror in the pit of his stomach. He had to get away. He began to run. He had to get away. However, it felt as though he was trudging through deep snow, even though there was nothing there. Despite his struggle, several hands had grabbed him. He struggled to escape until a voice called out to him, seemingly sourceless in the darkness. We were told to bring you back alive, but they didn't say in what state. Shuya saw a glint of silver before a sharp pain in his lower abdomen. Shuya snapped his eyes open. He sat up with a sharp breath and placed a hand over the phantom pain that lingered. It was an all too familiar pain. He even felt his old scar throbbing in response. He placed a hand over his face as he tried to catch his breath. He felt tears on his cheeks, and he couldn't help but let out a faint whimper. It had been a while since he had any nightmares of this nature. While some of this one was similar, much of it was different. He was used to the sensation of falling before the pain, yet this time he was restrained. It left him confused, uneasy. After a deep breath, he glanced up and realized he wasn't in his own room. The sense of unease grew until he recalled a bit of last night's events. He felt the tension beginning to melt away as he recalled the comforting, guiding hands of Shujing, keeping him steady and safe. Shuya heard a soft knock from the doorway, and he nearly jumped out of his skin. He looked up to see his protector leaning on the doorframe with a worry in those amber eyes. Are you all right? Yuji asked tenderly. He'd heard Shuya's sounds of distress and had to check on him. Just a nightmare, Shuya sighed. Nothing new. Do you have them often? Do you have them often, then? Yushi felt a tightness in his chest. It used to be common. It's been a while. Well, until now. Shuya glanced out the window as he started running his fingers through his long white hair, trying to work out some of the knots that likely ensued from his fitful sleep. He noticed the sun was already pretty high in the sky, yet he still felt exhausted. What a pain. You should take it easy today, Yushi suggested, seeing just how worn out Shuya looked. I know I should, but it'll be a bit troublesome for work, Shuya huffed. There's still preparations to be made. I understand, Yushi sighed heavily, having hoped Shuya would agree with him. I'll accompany you for your safety until the investigation into who it is trying to take you makes progress. I have contacts within the Imperial Guard that will reach out with more information. You will be staying here until then, Yushi smirked. And that is not up for negotiation. Yes, Shuya sighed with a faint smile. I just don't want to take up all of your time. Surely you have other business to deal with. I told you I have time to spare, Yushi chuckled. I was already intending on helping you for the duration of the week. My aid just happens to extend to this as well. Thank you, Shujin. Shuya's lavender's eyes held endless gratitude. Who knows what might have happened to me if you weren't there? They would have been sorely mistaken if they were trying to use me as leverage against my father. You don't think it was your father? Yushi crossed his arms. If that's the case, then your presence could have saved me from a worse fate. Shuya looked up at him with an extremely relieved expression. However, there was a sadness in those lavender eyes. Has he done something like this before? Yushi couldn't help but jump to the worst-case scenario. Such bitter resentment was simmering beneath the surface at the mere thought. Not that I'm aware of. He has, there's no proof, but I don't put it past him. Shuya shook his head. You've had instances like this occur before? Yushi felt tense, waiting for an answer he dreaded. Well, fortunately nothing so severe, Shuya mentioned casually with a shrug. It's not the first time I've been told to come along with a group. None of them tried to hurt me before. Competitors, disgruntled former clients, people who think they can leverage my father. And usually I'm able to reason my way out of it. Make it sound like it's just a normal occurrence. Yushi looked so pained. It surprised Shuya. I guess I've just been used to it. Shuya chuckled nervously under that saddened gaze. You shouldn't have to be. Yushi gritted his teeth. Every time he heard about Shuya's past troubles, there was such a strong tension in his chest and a sourness that he was getting harder to suppress. Sorry, I didn't mean to lay all this sort of stuff on you all the time. Shuya glanced away. I've been through a lot, and it's just so easy to talk to you sometimes. That's not what troubles me, Shuya. Yushi sighed heavily in frustration. The fact it doesn't entirely get to you means you've experienced it too much. You have enough troubles to deal with. You sounded so scared last night. I can't stand the thought of you experiencing such terror regularly. It's sweet of you to think so. Shuya sighed softly. I wouldn't say I'm entirely unaffected by this one. They knew where to find my home. It's not a very public fact that I live away from the Megui estate. So, I greatly appreciate you letting me stay here. That is concerning. Yushi's brow knitted. It was either Lord Megui after all, or someone was following Shuya regularly. Yushi didn't know which one was worse. Both scenarios made his skin crawl. All the more reason you aren't going anywhere without protection. I guess you really will be my guard after all. Shuya's giggle was accompanied by a cheeky grin. I'll be sure to pay you for your services, I promise. Are you sure you can afford it? Yushi teased. Just name your price. Shuya rested his head in his hand with an expectant yet curious shine in his eyes. Hydration, give me a sec. Fuck those glasses up. Yushi shoved off the door frame and approached Shuya. He placed a gentle hand on top of the young man's head and spoke with a warm smile. Don't leave my side. That's all I ask. It seems simple enough. Shuya giggled softly, feeling such comfort and warmth emanate from Yushi's hand. What makes you think I can't afford that? You're quite independent, from what I can tell, Yushi chuckled. I guess you aren't wrong. Shuya sighed with a defeated smile. He was used to doing things on his own, but he's been quite content seeking Yushi's aid as of late. With the events of last night haunting the shadow of his mind, Yushi's presence calmed his frayed nerves that he was doing his best to hide. Shuya's smile turned sweet and warm. I'm relying on you, Shujing. Yushi was taken off guard by the precious sight as well as the words. He felt his heart racing, as a warmth spread through his body. Shuya looked so soft with such a cheerful expression, and his hair a mess. All the more, there wasn't a hint of the usual void of light in those lavender eyes. Yushi felt like his heart was melting. What's with the face? Shuya asked upon seeing those amber eyes widen. Didn't you say you wanted me to rely on you? I just didn't expect you to so soon. Yushi flashed a fond smile. He was quite delighted to have heard those words so soon after bringing it up. I understand your past might make it hard. I can see why you think that. Shuya toyed with a strand of his light hair. There was a faint flush on his cheeks as he was unable to look at Yushi. After everything you've done, especially after last night, I've no reason to distrust you. Shuya paused, his heart pounding worse than when his life was threatened. He took a deep breath before continuing. Just please don't leave me alone like the rest. Shuya. Yushi reached out, guiding Shuya to look up at him with his fingers lifting the young man's chin. I don't intend to let you go. Shuya turned bright red under the gentle touch and determined amber gaze. He felt consumed by that warm gaze, melting into a fond smile. Shuya wanted to shy away, but he couldn't bring himself to. He was lost in those shining ambers. Shuya felt like snow melting away in the warm sunlight. Yushi found Shuya's dazed yet mesmerized face just so precious. He gently stroked the young man's cheek with his thumb and delighted in the subtle shiver it elicited. After the previous night, Yushi was starting to realize how much he relished being so close to Shuya. He never expected to savor these brief moments of contact with Shuya's warmth. Yushi chuckled softly to himself and retracted his hand, knowing he lightly lingered a bit longer than he should have. Why don't you change into this? Yushi patted the robe he left on the nightstand. It may be a bit big on you, but it will have to do, at least until we can pick up some of your own later. Let me know if you need anything in the meantime. Yushi moved to the doorway and paused for a moment. Take your time. Don't push yourself. Okay. Shuya was still at a loss the moment that they shared. He stared blankly at the doorway after Yushi left. He was having a hard time understanding the storm of emotions that were swirling inside his rapidly beating heart. Shuya's fingers ghosted over his cheek, still feeling the warmth on his skin. The words that came with that gentle touch also remained. He felt more out of sorts than that nightmare he just had. I read that completely wrong. I was like, wait a second, that does not sound right. I skipped some words. He felt more out of sorts by that than the nightmare he just had. Despite the nervous and shy feelings that had bubbled up, there was a fuzzy sense of joy that was threatening to consume him whole. At this point, he needed to take more time to process what just happened, then he'd likely need to get ready. Get it together. Shuya shook his head and lightly slapped his cheeks, trying to snap himself out of it. He had much more important things to worry about. He would... Oh. Hang on a second. My brain is not processing these words very good. He would be able to... He would be able to focus on it when he had the time to spare. He got up and ran his fingers across the dark blue robe on the nightstand and noticed all his accessories and other effects that he certainly didn't recall picking up. That warm feeling began to swell once more. He couldn't recall the last time someone took such good care of him. It felt too good to be true. Like, for once, following the nightmare was a sweet dream rather than the waking nightmare he usually experienced. He picked up the robe and held it up to himself. Certainly it would be a bit large on him, but he could manage. He pressed it against his chest. He caught the warm scent of wild honey and clove that he long associated with Yushi. It was now such a comforting scent. He couldn't help but smile as he changed into it. His sleeves hung past his hands, and he couldn't resist to bring it up to his nose and take in that comfortable scent. He was feeling rather at ease. After putting his hair up with a silver crescent moon pin, he finally felt presentable enough and stepped out of the room. He glanced both ways down the hall. He was half asleep when he was brought here, so he hardly had a clue the layout of the place. While it seemed spacious, it was rather simple. Down one way of the hall led to a few more closed rooms, while the other seemed to lead to more open living space, where he found Yushi just sitting in one of the plush chairs reading a letter. "Business?" Shuya asked as he slowly approached. "Nothing urgent, it can wait." Yushi tossed it onto the table. His gaze lingered on Shuya, taking the stark contrast of the dark robe and his fair hair. It was stirring something in him, seeing the young man practically consumed by his own robe. He couldn't help but smile as he waved Shuya over. "Come here, I can help make those sleeves a little easier to manage." Shuya smiled softly as he closed the distance. Yushi gently grabbed his hand and pushed the sleeve back just beyond the wrist. Yushi's calloused fingers tickled the tender skin beneath them with how soft his touch was. Shuya tried to stifle his reaction, but couldn't completely as a small giggle escaped. Yushi's touch lingered a bit, trying to draw out a little more of that sweet sound out of him. "Shujing," Shuya chastised amidst the faint laughter escaping him. "My apologies, I couldn't resist." Yushi chuckled as he proceeded with his original intent. He pinned a thin strip of black cloth between Shuya's wrist and his own thumb. He began slowly wrapping the long thin cloth around the young man's forearm with the excess of the sleeve. "I used to do this when I was younger. My father used to buy me clothes a bit larger when I was still growing. Till I filled them out more, I did this so that the sleeves wouldn't get in my way. A smart way to save money, I suppose." By the way, my voice is picking up a lot on your end right now.
Let me crank me down. I guess because I'm not talking. So it's picking up the nearest noise.
Yeah.
I've dropped you. Talk.
That's better.
Cool.
Seems like it's doing good.
I mean, who knows? Maybe chat wanted to hear you echoed. I just got in the groove of my game because it's just a chill zone out game, and so I was just listening to your voice for chilling out.
Comfy cozy hours.
Yup.
Shuya smiled softly until he realized something. Being from a rich family, he knew money for clothing, even for growing children, was never an issue. However, in the days he spent as a merchant, there was no shortage of families that were not so well off that he encountered. So he did. My brain short-circuited there. Hang on. I lost my place. There was no shortage of families that were not so well off that he encountered who also did similar things for their children. Was your family not so well off back then? Indeed, quite clever of you. Yushi chuckled softly as he tied off the black cloth and moved to wrap Shuya's other arm. I didn't run into that inheritance I mentioned until about 10 years ago, after all. I see. Shuya was starting to realize he hardly knew anything about the past of the man helping him. It was just my father and I for a long while. Yushi noticed the curious look in those lavender eyes, but the hesitance to ask. Shuya had already shared quite a bit of his own past, so Yushi didn't mind sharing what he could give without giving too much away. My mother passed not long after I was born. We managed all right. Unfortunately, my father was killed under pointless pretenses of the previous regime. A low growl of contempt escaped him. It was, in fact, the moment that set him on the path to overthrow the previous emperor, but that was a story for another time. He let out a breath to relax, trying to not concern Shuya. I'm sure it was quite satisfying to hear of the previous emperor being overthrown by the current. Shuya placed a comforting hand over Yushi's. You have no idea. Yushi chuckled darkly. He'd long since gotten his revenge. He was more than pleased with the end result. It's a shame it couldn't have happened sooner. Shuya sighed softly. Yushi was a bit surprised that Shuya shared such a sentiment. Often, people avoided the topic altogether, regardless of what they thought of the emperors, especially thoughts of ill repute. Then again, Shuya never fit typical Meihua mold. Just what do you think of the emperor? Yushi couldn't help but ask, amused at the hearing Shuya's thoughts of himself as a ruler. I haven't met him, so I can't say much about his character, Shuya thought aloud. Honestly, I don't get why everyone seems so intimidated by him. He's done nothing but good for this country and its people. People fear his power. Dragon blood runs through his veins, making him different. Strong enough to nearly take an army on his own. I'm sure you know all too well people who fear what's different from them. Yushi gently stroked the back of Shuya's hand with his thumb. Ignorance. Shuya huffed in a pout. Indeed. Yushi smiled sweetly as he stood. Come now, you're late enough as is. What's a little more time? Shuya shrugged. Let's take our time and perhaps finish some preparations while we're at it. Really? Not worried about your father's suspicions? Yushi raised a brow. I think he'll be more suspicious with you accompanying me today. Shuya laughed. Best to stick with business out of the office for now and stop by after he leaves. I can pick up anything pressing and leave word with the company that I'll be working away from the office for a bit. Wouldn't be the first time I have. Besides, Shuya's cheery expression dimmed a bit. If those people last night were sent by him, he may know more than he lets on. In that case, let's discuss our plans for the day over breakfast. Yushi shrugged. Yushi suggested as he walked towards the front door, gesturing for Shuya to follow. Sounds delightful. Shreya followed after him with a little skip in his step. That's the chapter. There we go. You said it was short.
It was short.
The short chapter. I think I ended up... so I believe chapter 9 was a lot of... it was roughly around this section where I had adjusted quite a few things initially. So there was some stuff that ended up being cut a little silly because long chapter was long. So, and that just felt like a good spot to break it. Because I don't usually like doing like mid-chapter breaks very often. I've done it like maybe 3 times total in like the 60 chapters I've written. So.
Makes sense.
But yeah.
My food and pizza I gave in and got is almost here.
Nice timing then. I should figure out something else to eat today. I don't know what.
It might be important, you know?
Anyway, chat, do take care of yourselves. Go get you some food if you haven't gotten any food yet. And do the hydrating. As I choke on things.
It was really like it's only 8 o'clock. Hours later.
Yeah, it's only 2-hour stream. I just
It's
I
our
don't.
shortest stream yet.
Yeah, I just don't think my voice can handle doing more, and I don't have the playlist ready for the next chapter anyway, so.
I forget you do music, like you talk about it, but because I don't hear it, I forget that's a thing.
I can always play it for you.
I'm okay with sitting in silence and just listening to your voice. It's calming.
Wow, what the fuck, model? Apparently my model's tired too. Alrighty, chat. Well, yeah. Take care. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that. There will be more of this next week. At some point, I'm gonna have to double up on doing these. I'm gonna have to do these like twice a week, I swear. At least when I finish all the art, I'm definitely gonna have to.
That's fair. Work your way through it.
No, but I think I'll wait until after I get the last bit of the art done, so. I think I have like 7 left. Oh yeah. Anyway. Bye chat, take care. We'll see you when I next see you. I might see you tomorrow, I might not. Depends on how death stuff goes.
Honestly, I have orientation, so I will not be at the multiplayer stream.
Yeah. I am. Bye!